everyone, welcome back to my craft room. If you're new to my craft room, then welcome. Today I want to make a bunch of pumpkins here. I've seen so many different styles of pumpkins this year. I've seen ones that have been look like sweater material, and they're quite expensive if you price some of these out in the other stores. I've seen some that look like they were done with socks, so we're going to do that. We're going to redo this pumpkin here. I picked this up at Dollar Tree. I really don't want a jack-o'-lantern, and I'm really not a big fan of the tinsely look. So we're going to take all of that off this frame, and then we are going to redo that one with some of this big blanket yarn. This I got at Michael's. Oh, I want to say, did I get it last year that I made those little gnomes? I made braids with this stuff. I thought that was perfect. So I had this color left. I don't know what this color is called. Let's see. Has it got a number or a name for this? It's just called gold. Alright, so we're going to use this gold color here to redo that little pumpkin there. I got some wood stems. I'll show you more of this stuff as we go along. And then we're also going to do one with a roll of toilet paper. And most of these are going to be really quick and easy. That one is going to be the one that's going to take the longest amount of time. So actually, why don't we just start off doing that? Because what I need to do with this guy here is to take everything off. You know, Dollar Tree has these different things out all the time for decorations for different holidays. And it has this little frame underneath, so I thought it would be nice to weave it with that blanket material. So it's probably going to take a little bit. I'm not going to show the whole thing on camera because, you know, once I get it started here, you guys will see what I'm talking about. But anyway, you kind of want to find where they started out with this thing. Or you can just go in, because I'm going to cut all these little ends off here. So let me just cut a couple of those off, just to see how easy that's going to be to get this stuff off of here. I really don't want those little nubbies on there. Oh, there, look at that. Comes right off. Alright. But yeah, I'm going to cut all these little nubs off with a pair of wire cutters. You could use a pair of old scissors. They come off very easily. It's not, you know, hard whatsoever. But I'm going to get all of this stuff off of here. Trying to figure out, where did you come from here? Thought maybe I'd just be able to unwrap this and save some of this stuff, but it's really kind of a pain. So we're just going to get all this off of here real quick. Take off this little hanger, because we're going to put a different hanger in the back of this when we're done. There we go. Alright, and then like I said, we're just going to cut off all these little nubbies here and get rid of those out of the way, because they're just going to make the yarn sit silly. And I think actually for this top piece, I'm probably going to do that with some jute string. I think that'll look pretty cool. Oops, I got my wire cutters backwards. It would help. There we go. But like I said, I'm going to get all of this off of here. I'm not going to make you guys watch me do all that, because it's going to take me a little bit to get it all off. So I was hoping to find the end of this. I thought maybe I could just take it off real quick and then have some of this, you know, like garland left to do something else with, but it's really not wanting to cooperate. Nah. There we go. But you can get a lot of this off, so you could reuse this for something else if you wanted to. But yeah, so I'll finish unwrapping that off the camera, and then we will come back here and start weaving in our big yarn. Alright, I got all those things off of there, and I took my little wire cutters, cut all those things off. You might want to wear safety glasses, or if you wear glasses, you're good, because those little suckers flew all over the place. So now you're going to take a piece of yarn, as long as you know, want to make it you know, that you feel like you can handle zigzagging this through here. So now this first little piece I'm going to put right up here, and I am just going to hot glue this in the back just to hold that in place for me. Don't need much, just a little bit will do you. And then what I'm going to do is just wrap this a few times on the top, because we're going to do the edge of the frame the same time as we're wrapping the rest of it. So it's easier just to kind of wrap this around up here on the top to get that covered. I'm just going to show you how I'm going to do this a little bit here, and then I'll do the rest of it off camera. It's going to take a little while. I mean, you could do this with a smaller yarn too, but it might take you till next fall to get it wrapped, which is why I want to use this big stuff. Alright, so now I got over to about here, and I got this whole piece here is covered up now, so we can start to wrap this a little bit. So I think I'm going to go under this one, and just like a regular like basket weave, we're just going to go under this one. I'm not even going to do the outside one yet because, you know, it's not even up that high. Over, under, over, under, and right here, like so. And then just pull it through. You don't want to pull it too hard. Just pull it, you know, just snug it a little bit because you don't really want to pull on this frame too much. So now we're going to leave that down there out of the way a little bit, and then you're going to want to cover this part of your frame up. That way when we're done, you don't have to go back and, you know, figure out how you're going to do the edging on this or anything like that because it's already going to be done for you. And that'll get pulled up right like so when we're done here. So then I'm just going to put this one over here and bring it back out, and then we're going to wrap this a couple times on this side. Pretty much you want to wrap it like the thickness of how this yarn is. You'll see when you're doing it. It's kind of hard to explain, but you'll see after you wrap it a couple times how it wants to go back. So I think I'm going to wrap that one more time. And this is very easy to do, but like I said, it does take a little bit of time. So now you see that's kind of like even here, and then we're ready to go back over here. So we're going to start going under because we went over this one, so you want to do the opposite, going back. I did go over this one. Yes. So we're going to go under that one, and nope, that's ending up the wrong way. Alright, so maybe we do need to go over under. Alright, that makes more sense. There we go. And you just want to make sure that they're, you know, nice and snug together. But like I said, you don't want to really yank on this thing because, you know, you might break it. Or misshape it. You know, you don't want to lose its shape either. So that's it. That's all you're going to do all the way down on this thing. And now that we're back over here, we're just going to wrap a couple times so it makes it even going back. Because you see right now it's way up here and you would not be even going back. So, and I just thought this would be the best way to finish off this edge so you don't have to add anything extra to it to cover up your edging. And then we're ready to go back. So now this one will be over, under, over, under, under, over, I believe. Nope, that one's over, so we'll go under. And then you can just start doing it this way and then pull it all through at one time, which makes it so much quicker. And there you go. And this is going to be nice. And it's going to look pretty decent from both sides, so you could have this even, you know, as a center thing. But now you see this one's up high, and this is what I've been trying to here show. It's a little bit easier now that I have more on here. So you want to wrap this a couple of times so it brings it down so we can go straight across again. And I'm going to do this one, and then I will do a lot of this off camera here. I think I'm going to do that 3 times, and that should, yep, take it back. So we went under that one, so we're going to go over it going back. So over, under, over, under, over, under. And just like so, and then pull that through. And there you go. Just make sure you got them all up next to each other nicely. And then again, you're going to wrap it a couple times. You'll be able to tell, once you start doing it, you'll be able to tell whether it's going to be even going back. So right there, that should make it, or maybe I shouldn't have went 3, maybe just 2 here. So I don't want to leave a space, because you'll see if you do too many, you'll have a big space there, and you don't want a big space. So that one went over, so we're going to start back here again, going under, over, under, over. And that's it. We're just going to weave this baby right across. There was these little nubs in the center. I left them there because I figured maybe that might help out hold these in place a little bit better. So I did leave those there. They don't stick up very high, so with this thick yarn, you're not even going to notice it. So that brings us down to our first cross space here. I might wrap around this one when I go back if it shows, but alright, so we're just going to wrap that one twice. Nope, maybe just once. Alright, so then we're just going to start the whole over, under, and then when you get to your end, you're just going to, you know, glue another piece of this on. You can tuck it up underneath the back if you want and glue it in, and start from there, or however you want to do it. Or if you're lucky enough to get to an end, actually I might just end this over here. It'll make my life so much easier, and just glue this down here to the next piece. So I'm just going to cut this piece off, and then glue our next piece on, and we're just going to keep right on wrapping. But I'm going to do this off camera here. I'm just going to show you guys what I'm going to do with this, and that is to just take another piece here, and we're just going to glue it together end to end. Makes it real simple, and you won't even see that. So hold that there for a second till that cools. Stick to my fingers. There we go. You see? That just glues together nice. You will never know it was there. Alright, so I am just going to keep just doing the same thing. Probably when I get down to about here, I'll stop, and then we'll show how we're going to finish this up. So then I will be back. Okay, I've got this pretty much done here. I'm down to the bottom. Now when you get down to this bottom part here, it kind of goes up a little bit. So it kind of wants to mess up your whole nice, even look here. You can still see the frame, it's a tiny bit here and there, but I don't think that's really going to make much difference. But anyway, since this wants to go up, I'm actually going to wrap this around one time here, just to kind of fill in the space of that going up in the air, like so. And then that should solve the problem. Where's my end? Alright. So then we're just going to go back down and up and down and up. Same thing, did all the way down here. See, and that fills in that little space. So we're going to wrap this a couple times because we're getting close to the end here. It's just going to be a little tricky getting these wrapped, but I don't think it'll be too bad. Alright, so now we can just go back across again. And this is the easy part. You just weave it through, back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth. And it gets a little tight pulling it through down here at the end, so you just want to be careful. See? That's going to wrap that up very, very nicely. Alright. Back over, back down here. So now we're going to have to wrap this one down here. You'll see when you're doing it where you need to actually like put another loop in here to fill in the gap at the ends. And there we go. That fills that in nicely. Alright, get up there. So now we're going to wrap this one again down around here on the bottom. If this makes any sense here, guys, you'll see it when you're doing it, where you need to fill in and you just want to wrap it around. Easy for me to say, right? There we go. Keep that nice and tight. And then the rest of this, we are just going to wrap this around the bottom of this frame to finish it off. But see how nice all the edges are all finished off? You might have to smudge it around a little bit when you're done. But yeah, all your edges are all finished. And there you go. And let's see, there's not much more here to do. I think I'm just going to flip right on over to that side. And just wrap it again, and then we will be done. Just so you have it nice and wrapped all the way around your edge. Nope, I think I need one more in there. Actually, I have to put it on the other side of that little thing. Whoops. Got to wrap it around the whole thing. There we go. There. And that wraps up your whole pumpkin. And it looks pretty nice from both sides. So now I'm just going to hot glue this down on the back side here. Nothing fancy there. Just wrap that right down there. It'll kind of just blend right into the rest of this. Right down onto that bar. And there you go. Now for this, I'm not going to do anything fancy besides just wrap this with some jute string, and that is all I'm going to do. You can use this thin jute string from Dollar Tree, but I think I'm going to grab my thicker jute string that I got from Walmart and use that. If I can find it. I've got stuff everywhere in this room that I've been doing things with here. Alright, give me a second to locate that and I'll be right back. Okay, I have no idea what I did with that thing of string. It's driving me crazy. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and use this Dollar Tree jute string, and I just tied it on the back here, and we're just going to wrap it and wrap it and wrap it and wrap it. Just that simple. Just keep it nice and tight together. This will just be easy peasy. You don't have to keep gluing it or anything, as long as you keep it nice and tight. Just going to need a little bit of glue when we get up to the end here, and that's it. And I didn't worry about this little space here, because I think I'm putting a bow there. I'm not sure yet. I'm kind of on the fence. We'll see how this looks when we get done. It may end up just being some leaves and acorns, because I'm not too fond of the bow on here. I think I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue here, because this wants to slide on me. So we may just hot glue this back here a little bit and keep it in place here. There we go. And I may do a couple drops. I didn't think I was going to need any hot glue for this, but I got stuff stuck all over my poor glue gun again. There we go. And I think my best bet is to put some more glue on here to keep this all together. And be careful you don't stick your finger in it, because this is not going to want to stay on this tippy end here without it. Alright, I'm going to cut this off here and make it easier to work with. And I think that looks nice for the little stem. Yeah, definitely going to have to need some hot glue. Didn't think I was going to, but yeah, you know, you kind of figure out as you go here. And then this one should be my last one I need up here. And there we go. And then I will just glue this down in the back. Carefully. Alright. So there is our stem. Now this is what my original idea was. I took one of those bows, they have these from Dollar Tree, and I cut the long tails off of it. And I was going to add this here. I don't think I like it on here. I really don't. So what I think I'm going to do is just take a few of these leaves here and put them up here at the top. That's exactly what I've changed my mind to. So we're just going to glue these on here real quick. Put those there like that. I'll put a couple on the other side. Oh, that's a big one. Some of these leaves are really big, some of them aren't as big. Let's see, we'll use this one here. Stick up at the top there. Yeah, I don't want to cover up my stem too much. And then I'm going to add some little acorns in there. Let's see, how do we want these? I think I'll put 3 of them in there. That might look cute. That one there, and I'm going to need another one. I was only going to do 2. I've changed my mind on this so many times that I'm not sure what I'm doing anymore. Yep, that'll work right there. So we'll have our 3 acorns on here. I like that much better than the bow. I did have this sign. This I actually popped off of one of the metal pumpkins I had on a stake. And this sign and the glue popped right off. It was real easy to get off. And I think that is just going to go right here on the center of this pumpkin. And I think that is going to be it. So it just really needs some hot glue down here in the center piece. I'm going to put a wad on here. Plop it right there. Hang on guys, I just want to stand this up here so I can see if that's going to be straight when it's hanging up. And I think that looks pretty good right there. So now the only thing I need to do is put a little hook on the back. I love this. So much better than the bow. Alright, so I'm just going to take a piece of jute string here. Actually, I'm going to make a long piece. I'm going to kind of double that over like this. Like so. And then we're going to find a little space here to tuck this through on the frame underneath. This would probably have been easier to do beforehand, but I wasn't sure how I wanted this to hang. And I'm just going to pull that up like that. Sign everything still intact while I'm yanking on everything here. Alright, and then I'm just going to make a little loop knot like so. I don't want it to stick up too far so you can't really see this too much. And that is how this little baby will hang. Just like so. Oops, I got stuff stuck all over it. Like I said, this looks pretty nice from both sides, so if you had this on a door or something with a window, you wouldn't look bad from the other side. But that is that is the first pumpkin that we're going to do here. Now the other ones are much, much easier than this one. I'm going to lay this little guy down here real quick. I have all this stuff here because I have so many different plans for this thing. And look, you still have a ton of this yarn. There goes my glue gun. Ton of this yarn left. I'm just a wreck here today. I'm just throwing everything and it's just one of those days. Alright, so let's do an easy peasy one here real quick. I don't want this video to be quite as long as it's going to be, but that's what we get. So I'm going to take this toilet paper here. I'm going to take this Halloween scarf that I picked up at Dollar Tree with the jack-o'-lanterns on it. And I don't know if there's the seam. So right there at that seam, I'm going to cut that right off. Now, I love making these. I make these every year with different scarves. Last year, I don't remember, was it just pumpkins or was it, I don't know, I think I just did it for fall. I haven't seen one that I would like just for fall to do this with yet. Come on now. There we go. Alright, and then you're just going to tuck your end in here. And all you're going to do with this is just keep wrapping it through the hole. This is so easy to do. Let me get this end through here so I can hang on to it. Tuck that right here for now. And then we're just going to keep going around it and around it. And then after you get this all in, then you can just kind of move this around, you know, and zhuzh it up however you want to zhuzh it up. There we go. Just want to make sure I get the pretty pumpkin side on the outside. Just shove it up through your toilet paper there. There we go. Easy for me to say, right? I can't get a hold of it. There we go. Alright, and now this piece is just going to go back down underneath and tuck it in. And you know what? After Halloween, you can just take this out and you still have your toilet paper. But now all you need to do is just kind of zhuzh this stuff around here until you cover it all up. You get back down in there. There we go. And this is just going to be sitting. You don't have to I mean, if you wanted to glue it down to keep it, you know, so it sits better, or, you know, so it stays in better or whatever. But I'm just gonna leave it the way it is because, like I said, after Halloween, I'm just gonna take it off and use the toilet paper, more or less. Alright. Excuse me. Alright, so there you go. There is our little pumpkin with all our little jack-o'-lanterns. And then we're going to take some of these wood stems from Dollar Tree. I think I might have something here that I already glued together. Here it is. So I took 2 of these and I just used some wood glue and glued them together like that just to make a bigger one. Now you could paint this a different color if you wanted to or whatever, but the big wider ones, they just seem to fit in here just perfect. So there you have your little stem. And then just take some leaves. Where are my leaves? I like to use the leaves off of the mini mums because a lot of times I don't use the leaves. So I'm just going to take a bunch of those little leaves off of there and just cut them off and glue them around the stem. So we just have some little leaves sticking up. Or you could use, actually I could probably use bigger ones on this. Those look a little bit small. Alright, what else can we use? Well, we can just take some regular leaves. You know, just your regular leaf here if you want to. And actually just shape this into more of a pumpkin type leaf. And they are just kind of like rounded. Just cut that down like so. Your top off, and there you have your bigger pumpkin leaf. So we're just going to glue that right on the back there. Yeah, I like the other ones. I think I'm going to use them for the other pumpkins we're going to do here real quick, and that should work out really well. Alright, so I just want to tuck that one on there. I'm not going to glue it to my, well, I did get a little on the scarf, but that's alright. Put that one there, and I need another one. Just take another one of these oak leaves, not oak leaves, these are maple leaves, and just kind of round them off. Take all your little spiky things off of there and make them more pumpkin-y. Put that one right down in there. And then if you want, you can also stay up there, little stem. Take some of the berries that come on a lot of the different things for fall at Dollar Tree and just add some, add some of those right in the center. And there you go. You have your little toilet paper pumpkin. So that is pumpkin number 2. So now our last pumpkin here that we're going to do, I'm going to make a pumpkin with these socks. Now this one's really, really easy, and they are so cute. I did make some out of fabric a couple weeks ago. I did out of the fat quarters, but I picked up, look at this mess. That's what happens when you're trying to do 3 things at one time, but I figured I wanted to get all these in one video here. So let's sit that little guy over there. I picked up a pack of these diabetic socks. It was hard to find colors that I wanted to use for the pumpkins. And then I picked up a pack of these. I thought this would just be a fun little pumpkin to make with these socks. So I'm not going to make that one because I already have one made. And these are all going to get made the exact same way. But that is how the little pumpkin will turn out if you use the sock with the little barn and little windmill on it. But we're going to do this one the exact same way as I made that one. And then you're going to need some more of this jute string. And what else do we need for this? We need jute string, and we're going to add one of these little stems to it. And maybe probably some leaves and berries just like this one. Now this one I actually painted the stem. So all I did was I took some of this real brown acrylic paint. It's just your apple barrel paint, whatever you happen to have, it really doesn't make any difference. And I just went over this, because this is like birch wood, it's really light. So I just wanted it to be a little bit darker. So we're just going to paint that up here real quick so it can be drying while we're making our... Oh, it's raining like crazy out right now. Can you hear that in the background? It's like banging off the window here. So we're just going to paint that up real quick. Don't need to paint the bottom. We're just going to paint the top. And that's that. We're just going to slide that over there to dry. Okay. So now to make this little guy here, all we're going to do is get the paint off your hands before we get it all over the thing. I need a good week just to get this room in order. It is a disaster. Now you can make these big, you can make them small. It all depends on how much stuffing you want to put in these little guys. So I'm just going to cut this straight across here at the heel. You can also make another one out of this part up here, doing the exact same way I'm going to do it here. The only difference if you're going to use this part is you're going to have to like tie this with a string for your bottom piece to get that to stay closed. So we're just going to use this bottom part of the sock that we cut right across, like right below the heel, just to make it straight. And then all you're going to do is stuff this baby. I have some of this polyfill. I'm not sure. I think I got this at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I don't remember. But you can get this stuff anywhere, or you can use like a cheap pillow or something and take the stuffing out of that, whatever you have. But you want to keep your little toe seam down here. You want that on the bottom of your pumpkin because you don't want to see that. We're just going to keep filling it, filling it, filling it until we get this to about the size we want. I might make this one a little bit bigger than I did the last one. I don't know. I really liked the last one I made, so. But you want to get it really full and really kind of packed in there, nice and stiff, so you can kind of see what size your pumpkin's going to be. Maybe just a little bit more. Alright, but this is so easy to do. Alright, so that should be good. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take a piece of thread and a needle here. Doesn't matter what color thread to use because you're not going to see this. Just make sure your stuffing's packed down in there really good. And then just go around the edge of this here, like, I don't even know, probably an inch or so I do, just to kind of pull this together. Nothing fancy at all. Just to kind of pull that tight there like that. And then what you're going to do after you get that tight is you're going to tuck all this down on the inside. There we go. Just tuck that all down inside there like that. And then we are just going to go from like side to side here and close this up. So you'll never know that that was even in there. I just go from one side to the other side and give it a good tug. Probably like, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 times I'll go across it here, just to close it up good. Yeah, looks good right there. Alright, so now we're just going to tie that off. There we go, and then just cut off your string. And now you have this thing that kind of looks like a big blob. So what I like to do is just kind of roll it around like this. Just push down on it, kind of roll it around to get your stuffing rounded out a little bit better. And then what we're going to do is take this jute string again from Dollar Tree. I'm going to hold a piece of it up here on the top. We're going to wrap this around and kind of snug it in a little bit. So it kind of pulls in here. This one you want to get nice and even. Try to get halfway. And then just snug it in and keep your knot right on the top where you sewed that seam shut. And I'm just going to tie that off like that. And then we're not going to go halfway, but we're going to go like in thirds now on this part. So now we're going to wrap it from here, back up this side, and then right again on the top there, we're going to tie another little knot. hold that one in place. I just want it to dent in a little bit, you know, like the grooves of a pumpkin. And then we're going to take it one more time around here, and now we're going to go like halfway between those two, like so. And again, you're going to give it a little pull to squish it in there. And now you can cut this piece off and then just tie that in the center. But you want to make sure you keep that in the center. So there we go. Got that snugged up there pretty good. Alright, and then you just cut your string off. And then work your strings around here to make sure you got them nice and even. It's really simple. And then I just kind of like to roll it down again so I can shape it more into a pumpkin. So there you go. Easy peasy. Alright, so now the only thing we have to do is put our stem on here, which is probably still a little bit wet. I'm going to kind of just glue the center of the stem in because I'm going to try to tuck some of the leaves right up underneath this. So this is going to go right here, like so. Let's push that down and hold it there for a second. There's no paint on the bottom of this, so it really won't affect it one way or the other. And then all we have to do is find our leaves that we're going to use and add some berries. Alright guys, my camera froze up on me again. I am on a quest tomorrow, I believe, to go out and hunt for my new camera of my dreams because this is getting crazy. But anyway, the leaves I used on here, I took off of these mini mums, and I just took 4 of those leaves and I glued them right up here against the stem. And then I glued on a couple of these little berries. These actually came off of a leaf branch. I don't know if I showed that because I don't remember what I was doing before this camera turned off on me. But anyway, that is it. That is all of our pumpkins here. I have this one here that I already made. And then, of course, we have our little one with the barn here. And we have our toilet paper. Oh, that's beads are falling. Or I have to glue those back on. Berries. Our little jack-o'-lanterns for Halloween that can sit in the bathroom. And then, of course, this lovely little number here. And we have our hook on the back here to hang this up. I absolutely love this. So I'm very happy the way this turned out. But that is it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give you some ideas, and you can make pumpkins pretty much out of anything. So, but thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you all next time. Have a great day, everyone.